I'm almost at 1,200 meta-analyses. 250 million students. Most of the work is based on classroom assessment, what teachers do in their classrooms. Yes, there are standardized tests there, and there is NAEP tests and other things, and yes, most of it is in the English-speaking developed countries. So that's the extent. Certainly I'm looking at 4-year-olds to 20-year-olds. And this to me is the most interesting finding of the lot. If you look at the whole distribution of 250 million students, and you ask, how many things do you do to students that have a decrease on their performance? The most exciting news for you this afternoon is there's hardly anything you do that harms kids. You'd never know that from the media. But hey, 250 million students. And some of these down here make perfect sense, like the effect of bullying on achievement is minus 0.22. Yeah, makes sense. And so when you take that into account, I think the most fascinating finding from all the work I've done is 95 to 98% of things that we do to students enhances achievement. All you need to enhance achievement is a pulse. Virtually everything works. And we've got to stop arguing that what works matters. Because everything works. Mrs. Smith down the road, if she comes to you and says, you should do this in your school, she's right, it will work. When your head of education in this state, or whatever state you're in, goes to bed last night and wakes up in the middle of the night with a bright idea, it will work. And the teachers that I want to drum out of the profession is those who come to you and say, look, this is the kids' work at the start of the year, and look where they are at the end of the year. Everybody can do that. The most interesting part next is that, look, up in this zone here, we have an incredible number of teachers and schools in our system that have a remarkable, systematic, positive impact on kids. And certainly 0.4 is about a year's growth. And if I look at the United States of America, and in the PISA results, you're around 20th or so, and I know that your country gets upset with that, and you should remind them there's 140 countries behind you. But you're up there. And when I analyse that results, and certainly as I've done with some of your No Child Left Behind results, I can say with some confidence that probably 60% of teachers in schools in this country, in this zone, success is all around us. You don't have to go to Finland and Shanghai to discover success. It's here. In fact, I was intrigued with the music before. As my limited time as a real classroom teacher, I was a music teacher, and they played 2 pieces from Grieg, who you know is from Finland. That's the only part of Finland you're going to get this afternoon. But success is all around us here, and if we have the courage and spine to recognize it, and all the work we do says simply, do you know your impact? If you're in this zone, you have to change. If you're in this zone, permission to keep going. And what I want to do is to build a coalition of success around here to invite these teachers and schools to come into it. It's that simple. There is no magic zone up there that we're all going to attain. If you go to La Cruz in New Mexico, it's there now. And I think my difficulty is in this whole business is when are we going to get policymakers and parents realizing that success is in our communities? And when are we as teachers and school leaders going to have the courage to say, we have variance in our school. I didn't say we had bad teachers, we have variance. And we're going to get our schools here. And when we get them here, we're going to say very clearly, the people that made the difference were the educators.